start. We'll wait for the stream to show up.
Tell me, are the ponytails stupid?
No, they're not stupid. You look
like
great.
Helicopter.
You look amazing. Oh, yeah. Make
you.
sure you're muted. Probably want to turn on.
Oh, and the Wi-Fi.
Do not disturb.
Got
just
it.
to be. Oh, I didn't even do it. There we go. Okay, I'm turning on.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to let everyone join in.
Some people are
Get started.
anxious about the exciting announcement we have.
Yeah.
Can we say what it's not?
Is it good news or bad news?
I think it's good. You know,
It's kind of bittersweet in a way.
Change is usually good because it means
I
you're
think we're
growing.
super laggy right now.
Are we?
My angle is, at least.
No drop frames.
Yeah, but my video's way behind.
Can we fix
Oof.
that?
She's not pregnant. Relax.
No babies.
It's not a divorce. No. It's not even necessarily something related to our relationship. Our relationship's still good.
Hey, everything's related to our relationship.
Yes, that's true. I'm wondering why the sound is way off.
Okay, while Drew is very behind, we have a
You're behind
super
too.
chat.
I don't know
Pause
why.
for a while.
What happened? What changed? What did I do differently? I did everything the same way. I'm gonna try one thing.
Okay.
Give us a moment here. We're gonna let people join in. Go ahead and talk, hon.
Hello.
No. Okay, it's just broken.
It's broken.
I don't know what to do.
Should we restart the stream?
I don't know if that'll help even. I don't know what the problem is. Let's just stick with the main angle for now. We won't get fancy with the...
Okay. Is the main angle okay?
I think the main angle's okay.
We should have done the clap thing.
Yeah, we didn't have time. But I still don't know how to fix it, even if that was off.
Mm-hmm.
But it was working before we went live, but now it isn't. Thank you for the super chat, Rockford Tech.
Hey, I was gonna say it.
Okay, go ahead. What do you say?
No, it's for you. Go ahead.
We're good. Okay, main angle's good. We'll stick with the main angle because this is a special announcement podcast. We've got some stuff to talk about, which is neutral news. It's like
there's no such thing as neutral news.
It's not good or bad.
I think it's good.
Okay, I think it's ultimately good.
Yes. But it'll be up to you guys what you think.
But yeah, we thought we'd wait until we got a good number of people in the stream so that we could let the most amount of people know.
We got 80 people. 81.
What do you think while we're waiting? What do you think of the S10, hun? I let her use it.
First impression.
Briefly.
I think it looks eh.
Eh?
I like the color.
You like that white that changes color?
Yeah. What is that called? Like pearlescent?
Yeah.
Kind of?
They called it the pearlescent version or whatever. It's different.
Yeah.
But it's kind of constantly changing. Like in here, when I hold it, it looks like green almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
I see a lot of pink and purple.
There's a lot of different colors within it. It's kind of bizarre.
A lot of people are saying Tim Apple. Tim Apple.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, Donald Trump, our president, accidentally called Tim Cook Tim Apple during an interview. So then Tim Cook
Thanks,
changed.
Tim Apple. Very cool.
Yeah. He changed his username on Twitter to Tim Apple emoji after that happened because all these people were tagging him about it. So now that's the joke of the day is Tim Apple.
That's amazing.
So my name in Discord is Drew Tailosive to kind of go along with it. But
what was the conversation? I want to know.
I think I saw the clip. He was flattering him. He was saying nice things. Mm-hmm. He was like, "You've brought a lot to this country. You've done a wonderful job, and we thank you very much, Tim Apple." You know,
but I think you should step down, make Apple great again.
Right. Where's my headphone jack?
Yeah.
The S10 has it. It's 2019. Marquez didn't talk about that in his review. It kind of shocked me. He never brought that up. It's like, hey, did you know? They still have the headphone jack on the S10.
Oh, that it has a headphone jack?
Yeah, he never brought that up. Ancient hardware.
Ancient.
His hardware is ancient.
Just a couple of years ago, everyone's like, it's not going to be taken off.
No. How dare you take it away? And then a couple of years go by and everyone's like, oh.
I remember you guessed it.
It has a headphone jack? What? It only took 3 years.
Yes.
So weird.
Another super chat from Rockford.
Thank you.
You spelled my name wrong, but hi anyways. Louis.
Hi. Okay. We've got a lot of people, almost 100 people in here. Cool. Do you think it's time?
Yes.
Okay. So the special announcement, drum roll please. Some of you have guessed it correctly. We're moving.
To Antarctica.
We're moving to, no, not to Antarctica. But this is not as simple as the last top secret, moving process of 2X.
We want to be more transparent with you guys this time.
Yes. This isn't something I wanted to build a ton of hype from in like make it a top secret or anything, because some people might be, I think some people might be disappointed.
Yeah.
I could sense that because I know the audience pretty well.
I think once you explain our reasoning behind it,
your
reasoning behind it, that most people should be understanding. If they truly support you.
I think so.
If they're truly a fan, then I think they should support you.
So essentially, what that means is we're moving out of this office that we're in right now, that we're streaming in, that we've been streaming in, that we've been recording in, and I'm going to be moving into working from home again, which in a lot of ways may seem like a step backwards, but we've been talking about this for months, and ultimately I think we've discovered that this is more of a speeding up the process down the road. See, essentially, we've had a lot of good memories and a lot of fun times in this office, and it's a great amount of space. And the main thing I want you guys to take away from this is that Tailosive's not in trouble. First of all, get that right off the bat. We're not doing this because we're running out of money and we're going bankrupt. We're doing great. Income is good. It's higher than ever, actually, and we're doing really good. But we're also, as we've been talking about housing and we're talking about rent a lot on this podcast, we talk a lot about that off the podcast as well, and we're realizing that when you rent out an office, that money isn't necessarily like a forward-thinking investment. Right. This is a lot of money we're spending just on being here, and that money's not coming back. It's not like buying a house where once you pay off the house, now you own it and you can sell it again, sometimes at an increased, most of the time, in fact, at an increased value.
It's an appreciating asset.
And you can make money on that. And this office always has been a temporary place for Tailosive to be stationed at. It was never meant to be permanent because we are renting it. And that's a lot of money every single month that just goes dedicated to being here, and then it never comes back. And I think I was walking around in our house recently, and I was looking at the back room, and I immediately looked around and just said, there's a lot of space in here that we're doing nothing with.
Right. We literally have an empty second bedroom. Well, it has a futon, but that doesn't take up much space. Right.
We're not going back to the attic. Don't worry about that.
Although, that would be a great throwback.
That would be a throwback, but that house is gone soon.
Yeah, wait, do they know?
I think we've talked about it. My parents are selling the house that the attic was in.
Therefore, the attic is going to be forever gone, out of our reach.
Yeah, we won't have access to the attic very shortly. But basically what it means is that unlike the last two moving processes for Tailosive, where we got bigger offices and more space to work with, this is the opposite. We're getting a lot less space to work with, but we're not looking that as a step backwards, because what it means is we're going to have far more money to invest on other things that are better for the network. What did you screenshot? What are you taking pictures of?
Your nudes.
What? Don't say.
Just kidding. There's 135 people watching. That's
wow.
I think that's our record.
Well, the reveal for this place was really high. But
oh, really?
Yeah. It's coming full circle. But we do see your super chat, Chris Norton, and we thank you for that.
Jeez.
Hello from the UK. Oh my
goodness, that's so generous. Thank you.
All-time high donation record.
He says, hello from the cold UK. From a cold UK.
And we really do appreciate that. Thank you. And essentially, this means that we'll have a bigger budget to spend on better equipment.
Quality upgrades. He was saying he wants to invest in more sliders, better quality cameras,
better
lighting,
tripods, cameras,
stuff like that.
And we're definitely, this is a step backwards in a lot of ways, because we're going to have a lot less space, and this space is very comfortable to work in because we have tons of room.
And at the same time, though, a lot of it is going to waste.
Right.
There's a whole kitchen area that doesn't get used.
Yeah, barely gets any room.
Yeah, a lot of the square footage actually isn't ever really being used.
Right. And we have the whole movie review room, which is fun and cool to film movie reviews in, but we're
very rarely
barely
used.
in there. And it's not that I don't want to do movie reviews. I do. It's just we're realizing now, like, it may be smarter in the long run because we have a lot of goals in our life. We want to be able to buy a house.
Right.
And someday I'd like to be able to afford a Tesla, as even the chat's suggesting.
This is actually like one of the, I think, the deciding factors for him.
Well, we have a ton of goals.
It up yet.
We have a ton of objectives. Oh, they know it. We have a ton of goals and objectives we want to get to in our lives.
Yes.
And financial goals and investment goals that we want to get to.
And also business goals, like where we, and mostly Drew wants Tailosive to be in the years ahead. And this is just going to push us further, quicker, I think. And
because it's more money that we get to keep aside of
eventually
throwing it away.
Invest in an office space that we can keep and not just, throw away rent money.
That's kind of the end goal that Louise talked about, is she wants Tailosive to one day have its own like dedicated office building that was ours and belonged to us, so we wouldn't have to rent it out. That's a long ways away, though. That's a long time away, and the day that we'll be able to afford things like a house or a Tesla, those are a ways away too, and we have to save for them. And this is getting us to that point B, that point C, way sooner, way faster than if we were to stay in the office and just keep paying for all this space that we're not necessarily making best use of. Like, ultimately, it's very comfortable for me to have a ton of backgrounds to work with for the tech room and the tech streams and have all this space. But ultimately, you guys are all watching me on, phones.
A tiny screen.
You're all watching on a little screen and on an iPad. And I don't want anyone to think that this is my way of scaling back my work, or that I'm not going to try as hard, or that it's not as important.
In fact, this will actually help him work harder, because he doesn't have to go anywhere now.
There's a far shorter commute.
Yeah.
Because we'll be
right
living
from the bedroom to office, and he's actually going to take the bigger bedroom and convert that.
Well, they're almost the exact same size.
Yeah. Well,
we've been doing a lot of prep for this, by the way.
A lot of planning.
We've measured the spaces, and we've also mapped out where everything's going to go in the house, and where our podcast, this very podcast, where that's going to be. Where
living room.
My tech streams are going to work, where my gaming streams are going to be.
Right.
And we're going to kind of we're going to turn our house into a little hybrid office and living space put together.
This will definitely be like a learning experience for us. I don't think it's a sacrifice, at least on my part. Like, I'm willing to let Tailosive into our personal space and kind of put your work at the forefront. And yeah, we'll see how it works out. Someone was asking when this is happening. We're planning for May 1st.
May 1st to be at the latest, because we do pay our rent here on the 1st of the month, and we're planning on hopefully not having to pay the last month, which would be May. So that means that within the next 2 months, basically, within the next couple months, we're going to be slowly and gradually moving things out of this office and bringing them home and getting them set up.
Right.
And the amount of content I produce should not change. I don't want anyone to think that's changing, or there's going to be fewer tech videos or fewer live streams. Actually, the biggest problem, the biggest issue we're going to run into is, or not run into, that we were worried about was internet.
Yes.
Because Louise had this idea for a long time of working from home. And my hold up to it was always, I don't think the residential Wi-Fi will be as good as the commercial.
Yes, but when I called, actually, when I first moved into this house before we were married, just by myself, I called Xfinity and asked them the speeds they offer. And they told me they offered gigabit, but Drew was very
I don't believe
cautious
them
and wary of
because they legit didn't know where our house was when we first called them. They were like,
used to
where?
Be one address, and now it's a new address.
And they had no idea. They were like, where is it? I don't know where your house is. So I was like, okay, you've never supplied internet to our house,
even
and
though
now you're
there's
offering
an
gigabit.
Xfinity box on the outside of the house, they didn't know.
It was very confusing. But ultimately, we weren't going to pull the trigger on this plan of working at home until we were sure that the Wi-Fi was as good or better. That was my rule.
Could you say it is better?
I can confirm. Now, the reason we're announcing this actually is just because we got the Wi-Fi speeds this morning.
Yeah.
This has been a behind-the-scenes topic of ours for a while, but we didn't.
You were like running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was very stressful, and I could tell Drew was so anxious to see.
I couldn't sleep.
The speeds were like the deciding factor.
Right, because I kept telling her, like, if the speeds aren't better, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth it if it means that the upload is slower and it means that live streaming won't happen as much. If it's a compromise on the content, then I'm not for it. If it's just a compromise on my comfort, on how much space I have, because I will agree it's nice to be able to, you know, if I have a bunch of boxes, I can just throw them over there. I have a bunch of storage, I can store things over there. Like, having all this space is nice, but if we don't compromise on the content for you guys so that you can still have your live streams and edited videos and all the same amount of the same quality or better, then I will happily take the sacrifice in comfort so that we can get to point B, point C down the road sooner, because this will allow us to save much more money month to month and get us closer.
Can I tell them, like, generally how much?
Yeah, give them a roundup.
So rent, including utilities and Wi-Fi. It's kind of insane, even though we're in Northern California.
Well, and we're paying for 2 Wi-Fi networks.
Yeah,
here.
We're paying for 2 Wi-Fis plus, you know, PG&E and rent. It was upwards of like $2,000 per month. And,
pretty much.
You know, we're 21 and 22. That's like way too much rent to be paying.
That's just the office.
Yeah, and then we have like all our home bills.
We have a house and we have power there and we have Wi-Fi there.
All our insurances,
and
so it's like
money was a huge driving factor with this. And once again, I'll reiterate for people who have joined after, Tailosive's not in trouble. Okay.
Yes.
The alternative to moving home was to just keep doing what we're doing. We've got plenty of income. Our income is fine. I want to clarify
another thing. Although I was one of the people to suggest this idea to Drew. I don't know if I was the first.
Probably.
Ultimately, I support Drew in whatever he decides, whether it's to stay in this office or move into the house and work from home, because I want Tailosive to succeed and, you know, his company to grow. And so I just want what's best for him and for the company.
And I can confirm that she was supportive in all regards. You were not forcing me to move home, and you were not forcing me to leave the office. It's completely something that you wanted to convince me was a good idea. And it wasn't until more recently that I started listening and paying more attention and looking at the options and saying, you know what, I think this is a good idea. Yeah. And I think for the long run, it's going to be better for the network, because the important thing to remember is this office was temporary. We were never going to be here forever. And where I'm moving to work at home, that's not permanent either. Yeah, that's also temporary.
Everything's temporary.
There's going to be a place we move after this, and after that probably, and after that probably. Yeah. It's not going to be Tailosive for at least a very long time, at least a decade or so, is not going to be fixed in one address, in one location.
And I think you guys should ask yourself, like, if this is something that bothers you, ask yourself, are you watching Tailosive because of the content he creates and, you know, his opinions and his thoughts on tech, obviously, or do you care more about the office and all the, I don't know, the things that he can pay for? It's like quality, I think, is what's more important.
And I don't think it's even brought up that much. Most of the time, things people want me to buy brought up are better equipment or a Tesla, but it's probably the number one thing. And all of that will come sooner if we just scale down on all of the places our money is going towards right now, which is the office, which we can't afford, like I said, but we could get on to point B, point C a lot sooner if we didn't pay for it. So let me catch up on some super chats here. Christian Larson said, I miss Steve Apple. Donald is dumb. Love from Norway. Thank you for the super chat.
Is he related to Brie Larson? Captain Marvel?
That's right.
Which you are going to watch tonight, right?
Yeah, me, Dan, and Wyatt are all going to see Captain Marvel later tonight.
Go home.
And we'll be... I'm sorry. I invited you.
No, 7 p.m. is past my bedtime.
Okay, but we will be live on our Twitch, actually, before and after the movie.
Maybe I'll watch it so I can feel like I'm there in spirit.
Make sure you follow Tailosive Movie Reviews on Twitch. That'll be our first ever Twitch stream.
Wow.
And then Nicholas Poirier donated 14 Canadian dollars and said, congrats. Thank you very much. I'm glad we have some positive thoughts as well. Rockford Tech said, Saturday short still? What about Wyatt? And as I said, Rockford, all the same content we're producing now will continue to be produced at the new place.
It might have a different background, but that will just force Drew to be more creative and how to utilize the space as good as possible.
Being able to film shorts at home will be more natural, because right now we have a room for tech, we have a room for podcasts, we have a room for gaming, but there's not really just a general living type situation to film in, whereas now we'll have that, and we'll be making just as many videos as we are now. Same amount of gaming streams, same amount as Saturday shorts, hopefully more as my ambition grows. Chris Norton also donated again and said that's a great move, which is good to hear. Thank you very much. Yes, let me read some of the chat messages here. There will be shelves with the Apple boxes. Those are coming over. Someone was asking
if you're going to measure the height, because I guess you did that from the first office to the second office.
To match it exactly?
I don't think so. The same height.
I don't think we're going to match that exact same shelf arrangement that we have here. But we're still going to have Apple boxes. We're still going to have the shelves, and there will be soundproofing tiles. If anything, they're going to be more symmetrical now.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the tech room, the soundproofing was checkered, and at home, we'll have plenty of soundproofing tiles. So this time they'll be all in perfect arrangement. You know, they won't be off a little bit and kind of thrown all over the place.
Some people were asking if we're going to paint the walls blue, and I'm in favor of that.
Louise wants to.
Drew, what do you think?
I wanted to freshen it up a little bit, because all the walls in our house are white, and I personally feel like we didn't do a great job painting the current tech room. Every time I edit the video, I can see all the spots we missed, and people commented on it before. They're
so you don't trust yourself?
I do. Like, if I did it this time, I would make sure to do it a lot better.
Thicker
but
coats.
Ultimately, I thought it would be kind of more interesting if we painted the shelves blue and then had blue shelves with a white wall.
Experience with spray painting things, so
that's true. You are a good spray painter.
Spray painted the legs of our kitchen table.
The real reason we're moving is because we have to move to Twitch.
What?
Yes.
Oh, that would suck.
Exactly. There will be a formal announcement on tech about this for the people who don't watch, but that will be once the move has been made. That won't
afterwards? Or like during?
No, once probably right before. Like the last tech video I filmed here.
This is goodbye.
You're like, by the way, if you haven't watched Tailosive Talks, otherwise you would have known this. You guys would have known in advance. Make sure you subscribe to Talks. But by the way, yeah, we're moving, and this is the last video in this tech room. Whatever that video will be, I don't know what. But then we'll transition it and be like, okay, we'll talk to you in a couple days, and we'll be in a new set. And we'll go from there. There were some people asking about the internet speeds.
Yes.
And we clocked them this morning, actually.
Well, what did they guarantee, first of all? What did Xfinity guarantee us?
Xfinity said gigabit was available at our location.
Which is kind of incredible, considering we live in like a rural town.
We live in the middle of nowhere. And there's... what they mean by gigabit is download. They don't mean gigabit upload. Just so we're clear, it's not 1,000 up, as cool as that would be. They don't have that, but they promised us 1,000 down and 35 up, which is about the same upload as here at the office.
Here it's 30 up.
It's around 30 up.
He has two.
And I have two networks, but the thing is, I'm very far from both of them.
Yeah.
Because typically, if we're live streaming here or there, the router's a good distance away from the computer. And the 35 up is not much, and I get it. You guys live in all different parts of the world, and for a lot of you, that's terrible. And you can get this much for $20 a month, and that's way fast. I get it. But we're talking about what's available here. And what's available here, 30 up at the office, is about as good as it was going to get. That was like giving Xfinity our bank accounts, handing it to them and saying, do whatever you want with this.
Yeah.
We'll give you all the money you want, and that's what they could offer. Here,
the first year is pretty good. Like the price was like $80.
Right.
And then after the year contract expired or whatever, it like doubled or tripled or something.
Yeah, they raised the price of the internet quite substantially, and
they're really clever actually. They get you that way. They're like, look at our really cheap Wi-Fi.
the thing is, they know you can't switch to anyone else because here it's a monopoly. There's no one faster. There's no one else you can try. Believe me, I've looked into Verizon, Fios. I've looked into fiber. I've looked into everything that's available in the area, and at our office anyway, that's the fastest we can get. And that side of the building and this side of the building both got 250 down, 250 megabits per second down, and
which is pretty good.
Which isn't bad, but we were paying, I think, in total like basically $300 a month
just for
internet here. And when we found out that at home we could get gigabit, and I wasn't sure if I believed them until this morning when I did the speed test, but we could get gigabit at home for $100 a month.
Yeah.
I was like,
wild.
Wow. Faster internet and a third the price.
Right. Online they advertised it was $150 a month for gigabit internet. And then when we called them, they were like, we actually have this package deal. If you add cable to the package, you had to pay $60 less. I was like, how does that make sense? But it's on a 2-year contract. So.
You didn't ask how it makes sense. I did. And then we had a friendly debate about it.
Yes. So tell them your side.
Okay,
your point
I
of
don't
view.
get it.
I agree with you. It doesn't make sense.
Feel free to, if you want to ask more questions about us moving, I'm sure plenty of you have some.
Yes.
We will address them. Feel free to keep asking.
I think there was another super chat I want to read.
Oh, okay.
It was ? He said, hope everything works out good for the both of you. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're kind of like diving into the deep end, or?
Yeah, we're hoping for the best. I think it's going to work out, though, because I have worked in small spaces. Granted, I have a lot more space now, but I agree with Louise that it's not properly utilized. I'm basically, most of my money is going towards my background. That's kind of the depressing way to look at it. Like the biggest, I will tell you, between Wi-Fi, between power, between tech, we spend money we spend on technology to review cameras. Most of the money I spend goes to the office. And the majority, the only thing that makes a difference of where I work to you guys is the background of videos. Ultimately, it's still me. It's still my commentary.
Right.
So it was kind of a wake-up call when I started realizing, like, I'm spending most of my money on how the blur is in my videos, in what's bokeh out. We bokeh out our highest expense.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So finding a place that we're already paying for.
Yeah.
We've been paying for this house. We're going to keep paying for this house. Finding a way to consolidate and move all of that in there and find a way to effectively work. And I think it can be done because I know what things I don't need at the office and I know what things I do need, what desk, what computers, what TVs. We're not selling any TVs, which is amazing. We're going to have a lot of televisions in our house.
Yeah.
But
3. Which is a lot considering we only have 2 bedrooms.
We're going to have a TV in the living room and then a TV per bedroom.
In your office, yeah.
Yeah, because it'll be used for gaming streams and stuff like that. But we've mapped out where things are gone. We went around the office and we measured things and we mapped it out in the bedroom and how things are going to be laid out. And I'm going to get creative with it and I'm going to make the best of it.
Did you tell them how fast upload speeds were?
Sorry.
On the test?
I did the test this morning, and mind you, there was a disclaimer. When I activated our router this morning, the customer service agent said that the speeds would not be at 100% for another 24 hours. And that was at like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m.
They had like an internet outage yesterday.
Yeah, I was trying to turn it on yesterday, and they had scheduled maintenance. So we were rushing and rushing and rushing to get all this together. We
literally drove to like 30 miles away twice.
It was bad. It was really bad. And okay, so basically they said, by the way, internet's not at 100%, so we just want you to understand it will get faster over the next 24 hours. And I went, okay. I pulled out the MacBook. I connected to the Wi-Fi. I did the speed test. We clocked it at 720 down, which is not 1,000, but compared to what we have here, which is 250 down, and it's $300 a month, that's pretty dang good.
This is like a third of the price, and also like 3 times faster. So it's wild.
And the upload was 41, which is
higher than advertised.
Higher than what they promised. and it's definitely like over 10 megabits higher per second than here, which means that uploads, as small of a change as it may be, will be a little faster. Hopefully, that extra upload means that live streams, we can turn up the bit rate a little bit so that the live stream quality looks a little nicer. I can't confirm how much nicer it'll be because in regards to upload speed, it's not that much, 30 to 40. It's a little bit, but it's a little megabit. But I'm really excited to utilize that. Also, another advantage that we should see with the Wi-Fi at home is it's a much smaller space. Right now, the Mac Mini is a good 30 feet from the router it's connected to, and it's able to handle this live stream okay, but in our house, things are a lot more compact and closer together, which means that all of the devices connected to the Wi-Fi are going to have a lot more stable of a connection. What?
Yes. A lot of people are asking if Wyatt's like gonna move into this.
Wyatt and I are still gonna be friends. No, that's not changing. Wyatt and I are still close friends, and he's still gonna be welcome to hang out. And
I'll be gone most of the day, so they can hang out while I'm at work.
Right, we're gonna manage that time well, but just as much as we hang out now, we'll be. Wyatt will still be in the Saturday shorts, and he'll come over for gaming streams and stuff like that. This isn't a departure of Wyatt. Don't worry. Oh, hey, Paul Grosclose in the chat.
Hey, Paul.
Thanks for tuning in. Krishna says, longtime subscriber of Tailosive Network. I love your content. I don't care about the location. I guess no one should because it's your decision and we need you spend less and gain more, man.
Oh, thank you.
I think this is going to be a good idea.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Phillies fan mentioned that we should invest in a green screen. And we do have a green screen, but
we do.
There's a specific kind that Drew wants to buy, and which we will be able to afford once we, move offices.
It's $200. Yeah,
we can afford it.
We can afford it.
But I'd rather wait until we actually move into the office.
Basically, we have a big, traditional green screen, which you just stand up and throw cloths, and you throw a cloth on a big tent pole, basically. But Elgato makes a green screen, which is more portable. That's like in a little floor piece, and you just pull it up and it supports itself, and then when you're done with it you grab it and it slides back down into the floor. So yeah, the Elgato sliding green screen is what we're planning on getting because we're going to be working in a very small space,
so we have to utilize everything as wisely as possible. And actually I think we should use the foyer as some sort of background. Like I could see the
she wants a second tech background.
Because as soon as you walk into our house is the foyer. And that's like the perfect place to just see a tea. It's like, this is the Tailosive house.
Yes, the metal teas are coming too. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. Now that I'm looking at it.
It's heavy, yeah. No,
how's that going to fit in our house?
We already talked to our landlord about how we're going to bolt it to the wall, and he said he's okay with it. And he's seen the metal teas himself, so he's comfortable with us hanging those, both of them. And we didn't want to announce this or tell everyone we were thinking about it until I saw the speeds myself. That was the hold up on this announcement. Was just I needed to believe Xfinity, which is hard to do because they are liars and they suck. But once I saw the speeds and they were legitimately, and I tested it multiple times. It wasn't an isolated instant. I would hit go, go, go. I was testing it all morning. And I was just like, okay, I think it's legit. I think they're telling the truth. I think this is what the internet's going to be. And I think I'm comfortable with moving home. And I think all the most noticeable things in the Tailosive network are going to make it over. The PewDiePie chair, the white desk, the iMac Pro, the Mac Mini, the TVs, all that's coming home.
We are getting rid of all the couches.
Yes.
Because we already have 2 couches.
It's already gone.
Oh, it's disappeared.
Did anyone notice that?
No, someone told us to get rid of it, so we did. And also, I need to add a plant here, but I guess this will only be a temporary location for like
I don't think this table will make it. Yeah,
this table's too
huge, big. But we have smaller tables. Yeah, we have smaller tables we're going to use for the Talks podcast. But ultimately, same content, different setting. That's the takeaway from this, and it will allow us to make more investments in equipment and technology that will make the content better, even if it's in a smaller room. Because honestly, that shouldn't matter. It doesn't affect the production of the content. like videos get lower quality. No, they won't. That's my whole point. we are in a cheap small.
Yeah.
We are
We've
moving to a cheaper, smaller spot.
looking at other office spaces. There just aren't that many available in our area. It's
And
kind
to
of
be
a
fair,
dead-
this was a steal. The amount of space we have here is a really
you're
good.
paying like $1 per square foot.
Little less than that, but
Isn't this like 1,000?
no, it's more.
Okay.
But still, it's we got a deal on this place, so it's not exactly like we could go somewhere else and find a better deal. Particularly right now because of the campfire situation. A bunch of people from a neighboring city, Paradise, are in all different. They've all moved into different places, which means rent for basically everything else is much higher now. But ultimately, the quality of the videos are not getting lower. It's all the same equipment. We're going to be filming with the Blackmagic. We're going to have better internet now, so hopefully bitrate resolution and stuff can be improved. And the reason you should be watching my content, at least, is because of what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, and how I document all of it. So that's not changing. It's just the background. That's about it.
Yeah. Do you care about him or the background more?
Yes.
Ask yourself. If
Some
you're a
people
true
might,
fan.
some people might care more about the background just because it's impressive. It's like, whoa.
Well, we're
Look
not
at that
at
blue wall.
Marquez's level yet.
Yeah, but
He has
we'll
a
get
whole
there.
warehouse, doesn't he?
No, we've mapped all that out. Movie reviews staying, gaming staying, shorts are staying. Yeah, with all of that staying. There's no channels are being canceled with this move. We've got a space for the gaming streams lined up. We got a space for the movie reviews lined up. It's going to be better utilized than here, which is just a ton of space that you occasionally use, opposed to a small space which you're always using. So that's the takeaway. But we had an absolute nightmare with Xfinity yesterday, trying to get all this to work. When did that day start? 7?
It was very early in the morning when we called them, and we probably called Xfinity like 20 times over the course of the day. First, it was like asking if we could get the Wi-Fi set up and how quickly it would be, and then they told us about the whole it's cheaper if you get cable, the package. So we're like, okay, we'll do that. But then they're like, you have to get a cable box, which we can ship out in 3 to 5 days. And then once you have that set up, then you can check the Wi-Fi speeds. But Drew was so like anxious to check everything.
Once I get going on an idea,
he was like, I'd rather pay the $150 so I can check the speeds now rather than save the.
Because I'm getting too excited about this.
Right.
We were probably getting too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because once you planted the idea in my head and as to why this was a good idea and how much money we'd be saving month to month, I was like, okay, this sounds great, but I need to see the speeds. And basically, I didn't sleep until I saw the speeds. I was like, I was restless and I couldn't relax because I kept going like, basically, Xfinity's in control of what happens now. Like, if Xfinity pulls through, then we save nearly $2,000 a month. If they don't, we're going back.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything.
Like,
yeah.
We just get to our goals slower.
Right.
Anyways, so
but
then
now we're getting to our goals much faster.
After that, we decided we're not going to wait the 3 to 5 days. Like, we want to get this done now. So we went to the next town over and picked up the TV box, came home, opened it, plugged it all in. It was cracked, by the way.
They gave us a broken TV box.
It worked, but it was just cracked.
Here's the dumb thing, okay? When I called Xfinity, I was like, we want gigabit, okay? Do you have to install something for gigabit? Or does it just go through the same cable we already have? Because we had Wi-Fi at our house. It was just slow. And I was like, basically, if I call you and ask for gigabit, can you just like, raise the price of our plan and then send the signal to our house that says, well, yeah, they do everything online. They'd just be like, send a signal at our house that says, don't put a data cap, don't put a speed cap. Just send them full speed internet, send them gigabit. And he was like, yeah, it basically works like that. There doesn't need to be an installation process. But to get just gigabit, nothing else, okay? Just 1,000 down, 40 up, just to get that, it was going to cost $150 a month. And because that was half the price of what I'm paying here,
It's
I was
still
just
good,
like,
a good deal.
yeah, I was like, okay, let's do it. That's fine, gigabit, and we won't have to pay for an office address anymore, and we'll save a ton of money. Okay, 150, let's do it. And he was like, well, I know on the site it says 150, but there's this deal we're doing right now where we'll lower gigabit to $95 a month if you get it with cable TV, and you get it with a cable TV box and you know, basically all cable TV channel. I've never owned cable TV in my life. I've never had it in my house growing up. I never had it when I moved out. I've never had it because I don't care. It's all ads.
Yeah.
It's all,
like 50% commercials.
It's all 720p too. Like and I all my content I watch is on Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube. That's 99% of the content I watch. So I was like, oh God, I don't need cable TV. And I was like, well, we don't want the TV box. So can we just get the internet for that deal? And he was like, no. So I was like, okay, sure, we'll take the stupid cable TV, but I have 0% interest in that. I just want the internet. And I was like, how do we activate the gigabit speeds now? Like, sure, we'll sign up for the cable TV plan. You can ship out the cable TV, but when does the gigabit get activated? When does that switch get toggled on for us? And what did the guy tell us?
Didn't he say it was like instant?
No. That would have solved a lot of our problems.
When the box is coming?
He said when the box was turned on and activated.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he said, we're not going to give you gigabit until you go out, pick up the cable box, or you receive the cable box in 3 to 5 days, and then plug it in, and then boot it up and activate it, and then we'll turn on your gigabit. And I'm just like, oh, God, I don't want to turn all this crap on.
Yeah.
What happened after that, hon? What went from there?
Was that when we decided we were just going to go and pick it up ourselves?
Yeah. We found out there was a Xfinity store, which is a thing, like 20 miles, I think, from, or close enough. It was within driving distance, so we were like, okay, let's see, let's see if we can pick this thing up, boot it up, and then test the gigabit.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
So we went there. We picked up the box. We set it up. We came back home, set it up, called her. She told us our modem was like not good enough for the Wi-Fi.
We found out we had I forget the letters, but a 3.0 modem.
Yeah.
Which doesn't.
DOCSIS 3.0.
That's what it was. DOCSIS 3.0 modem, which means it doesn't support gigabit.
Basically banging our heads against the wall at this point.
Yeah.
And Drew was like, can we go back to this other town because they had a Best Buy and we don't?
Right.
And I was like, okay. So we literally drove another hour or like 30 minutes and then 30 minutes back. We got the 3.1 DOCSIS. So
we got the gigabit enabled router, which looks exactly the same.
It does.
It's just a black box.
And it was like $200. So we're just like blowing money at this point.
We're just like, let's do it. Let's find it.
We got to get to this point where it's like, we know the speeds.
So we went.
Come back. He sets it up. He calls them. And they say there's like an internet, a maintenance period.
Scheduled maintenance is going on right now.
Yeah, until the next morning, which is this morning at 5 a.m. So we literally went through all this trouble to find out the speed. And I could tell Drew was so frustrated by the end of it because he wanted to know the speed. And there's so many hurdles in the way.
Well, I was phically in pain.
Yeah.
I had some kind of,
he had like eyeball pain.
Migraine? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like an extreme headache.
And your eyeballs are aching, right?
It formed on our second road trip to get the modem. Like on that drive, my eyes started hurting, and then my brain started hurting. And by the time we got back, I plugged in the 3.0 gigabit enabled modem, and the other thing that wasn't helping was this was out for delivery.
Oh yeah, so we were trying to schedule everything.
Missed our house. The stupid, like, we have a security camera. Yeah. We have security at our house.
We watch him drive by.
We watch the front driveway to see when the package is here because this required a signature. Like, you couldn't be away from the house when this was delivered.
You had to sign for it.
All morning, I'm waiting for the S10 to show up because that's what the tech video was going to be, is me unboxing it with the Galaxy Buds. And it was out for delivery. I was tracking it, and it's like, it should be delivered soon.
3 hours.
And I finally saw the FedEx truck drive by on our security footage. He stopped. He went backwards, kind of looked at the house for a second, and then got up from his seat, went into the back of the truck, looked around, and then drove off. And it was like, that was us, dude. You had it. He
probably lost it.
I'm 100% sure he had it, and he just didn't know where it was, so he skipped the house.
I'll come back later.
Because he clearly was looking for our address. He was like, is that it? And then he backed up, and then he went off his chair, and he was like, oh, I can't find it, and then drove away. And I'm like, so we had to wait till he made his, second lap or whatever.
And this was hours later. Like, we went and got the TV box, came back, still wasn't delivered. And then like half an hour later, finally was delivered. Thank God we were there. Otherwise, he would have skipped us again.
There's a chance he could have stopped by when we were on our way to get the modem, and we would have missed the delivery. And then this unboxing would have been delayed even further.
Yeah.
Luckily, we just happened to be there when the package was delivered. So the unboxing was done, obviously, and it's uploading now.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't helping. And on the drive home, my head was hurting. My eyes were hurting. Plugged in the modem, called them. I'd like to activate my modem. And they're like, sorry, there's scheduled maintenance in your area. Please try again.
Sorry, you suck.
I had to call like 3 different numbers just to get a scheduled time of when it was going to be working again.
Really?
Because all they wanted to say is try again later.
Wow.
They didn't want to tell me like when it would be back. They didn't want to be like, wait till 5 a.m. and then it'll start working again.
That's rude.
But eventually I went through a different line on the giant Xfinity phone system and finally found someone that said the maintenance will be done by around 5 o'clock. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then my head hurt so bad from all this driving and all this headaches and all these Wi-Fi and modems and trying to get everything to work. And
yeah, I felt so bad for you. You seemed like you were in a lot of pain.
I had some kind of temporary thing because my head was killing me. I could not get up.
Guess what the cure was to the headache? It was an ice cream bar. It's just like, I don't
mean that in a childish way.
The coldness must have like helped.
Something about eating something cold made me feel way better, and I don't know why. Because we had dinner and it still didn't feel right, and I could barely stand up. Like the S10 was delivered, it was here. But you were like, do you want to work? And it was like 5 o'clock. And I was like, no, I can't. Like my eyes are hurting and my head hurts and I can't do this. So I was like, I just need to lay low and I'll do the unboxing if I'm feeling better tomorrow. And I feel great today. Probably because of those internet speeds. As soon as I saw them, my brain lit up.
It's like relief.
Yay! Yay!
Everything's working out.
And it's better than we expected, actually. The upload is faster than advertised, which... Who would have thunk that happened? Xfinity undercuts themselves. Can you imagine if that happened with our bill? It's going to be $100 a month. Bill season comes around. Oh, it's $60.
That's pretty nice. I think PG&E does something like that.
The speeds are good. The speeds are 1,000 down, 40 up when ideal, which is it's not at full speeds right now, but it will be tomorrow.
Within 24 hours, they said.
But we're not going to know because we're going to plug in our old router. See, to test the Wi-Fi at home, we had to take the router from the office and bring it home, which apparently is a terrible thing to do, as Xfinity freaked out on me when I told them that. They were like, what modem is this that you're using to set up the gigabit? And I was like, it's just a router I brought from my office. They were like, it's registered to a different account. It's already
assigned somewhere else. You cannot use
It's already assigned to somewhere else. And I'm like, well, clearly it isn't because it's only got one port on it. So it's here, But it's connected to a different address. Okay,
then
disconnect it.
Yeah.
It's here now. There's only one. I gave them the serial number. There's only one of those. And
yeah, I wonder why they're so picky about that.
I don't get it either. It's like, why can't the modem just be a receiver? Why does it have to be a specific name and number?
She's
and they have to have
what's the serial number?
What's the serial number? What's the model number of that? Just send the internet to it. I don't care. Like, who cares what modem it is? Send the internet through the cable. What's crazy is
send the internet.
Send the internet. What's crazy is all this speed comes from this tiny. Have you ever looked at a coax cable?
Is it the pin in the middle?
Yeah, it's just that tiny pin. It's all coming through that. That's it. The difference between
it's wild.
Amazing Wi-Fi and terrible Wi-Fi is all held within.
It's the same size pin.
Yeah. Same size pin.
Guess what speeds we had before? It was like 15 down. I actually never tested it, but that's what they advertised it as. It was 15 down and like 1 up.
Yeah, it was bad.
Was it 1 or like 0.9?
But it was cheap.
Yeah, we were paying like $30.
$30 a month for crappy Wi-Fi, but all we did was watch Hulu on it. So
we watched 90 Day Fiance for about 16 hours.
And we never upload. I mean, we occasionally uploaded videos from home.
Yeah, I've actually uploaded videos there, and
from
it wasn't too slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
From our home.
Right. We someone was asking earlier if they probably thought you stole it. The thing is, I was calling from the account that owned this office. So there was no way, like, how would the person who stole it also have my phone number and the house I'm at's account number? Like,
maybe she...
Way too much information.
I think you might have been on my account number, though, like when you were calling her, because the house Wi-Fi is under my account, so maybe she didn't know.
We also told the guy on the phone to add me as an account manager, and he didn't do it.
He didn't?
Yeah, because every time I call them, they're like, "Who is this?"
But I thought he said he
said he did.
It was interesting.
You know what I did this morning? I lied.
What? You said that you were Louise?
Yeah. They didn't question it. They don't care.
Ew.
No, I've called them before, and I was like, I need to upgrade the Wi-Fi. And they were like, who is this? And I'm like, well, the account's under my wife's name, which is Louise Erickson, but this is Andrew Erickson. And they were like, she hasn't added you as an account manager. We need her verification. Yeah. And what they mean by her verification is just your voice.
Yeah.
Remember when they were
Not even, it could have been someone else pretending to me, to be me. He just said, we need Louise to verify that you're my husband.
And I held the phone over to her.
And I was like, I verify it.
Yeah, that's all she said.
Any female could say that.
They didn't ask for her number or her account number or anything. They were just like, Louise, do you verify? Yes. Okay, good. So when I called them this morning, I was like, I need to boot up my modem, and I need you guys to send the signal to it.
Boot up.
I need the activation or whatever. And they were like, okay, and who is calling? And I said, Louise Erickson.
You lied and
I had a whole...
It's a good thing that I have like an ambidextrous name.
Kind of.
If I had a name like John. Oh, wait, no.
That would be perfect.
Lisa.
Joe.
If I had... No, it had to be a female name that you couldn't pretend. Okay, pretend you were a female.
Joe is a
a girl's
unisex.
Name?
It's a boy or a guy's name. Boy or a girl's
I guess
name.
like Joanna.
Jojo Siwa.
Okay.
That girl. Her name's Joe.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it went through.
I had a whole... You guys have seen my prank calls, right? When the spammers call me, I give them a prank response, and I joke with them. I have like whole stories I'll go off on the phone if I need to. So if they were going to be like, who is this? They're like, Louise. We're like, you don't sound like a Louise. And it's like, wow, that's exactly what every teacher told me in high school, in middle school, in elementary school. And I can't believe an Xfinity customer service agent's also making fun of my name. It's Louise, okay? That was my mother's name.
Wow.
She died when I was 5 years old.
Oh my god.
And now you're disrespect. And they'd be like, okay. No, like I have plans. Okay.
You're low key crazy.
I didn't want them to be like, we need her to verify it because you were at work.
So they didn't ask or they didn't question anything about it. They're just like, okay, your name's Louise.
Yep.
And you had my account number, so I guess that's all they needed.
Just say who, like, who the heck out there has stolen your account number and is trying to upgrade your internet service? Yeah. They need to verify the information. Yeah, okay.
It's probably just company policy.
Just tell them.
A blanket
Tell
policy.
them you're the account name.
Yeah.
They'll believe you. It doesn't matter.
Anyways, are we done with this topic? Shall we move on?
For the most part,
yes.
I think.
If you guys have any more questions about Drew moving offices and downscaling, what?
Oh God, I'm just like there's people who join the stream like, what is it? 54 minutes after. What's the announcement?
Maybe we should just put it in the.
We're downscaling. I'll probably make a vlog about it.
Okay.
Just to.
Good idea.
So people don't have to watch the whole thing. Anywho.
So now that you got your S10, do you have any initial thoughts you want to tell people about?
It's nice. I like it. The video of me unboxing it will be up probably right after this. It's probably done uploading by now. But yeah, it'll be up later.
Yeah, I like the S10 so far. I like the display more than the Pixel 3, but I'm actually kind of unimpressed by just how it looks.
It's boring to you?
Or I like the color, but I don't know. I don't like the style of it.
The style, huh? Like the edges?
Yeah, the edges and...
It is very asymmetrical. That's what I noticed about it. Cameras look weird in the back. The forehead is a different width than the chin, even though you have a camera hole. The camera hole is not in the middle.
So it's not a notch, technically. It's like an offset.
It's a floating notch.
Yeah, offset oval, black oval.
It's an oval notch, chin's thicker than the forehead, and then you have power button like slightly, well, basically lined up with the volume, but it's really high. That's what I don't get. They put the power button like way up here, and then Bixby button is surprisingly ergonomical. The button that you want to press is the one that no one wants to use. Sucks. And
I mean, I shouldn't say it sucks. I've never used Bixby. What's your opinion?
I don't care if your digital assistant's great or terrible. There shouldn't be a button dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Like the point of a digital assistant is to be hands-free. So why have it be activated via your hand? Like I should be able to just call out to Bixby if it's that good, not have a button dedicated for it. Like Siri doesn't have that. I don't need a fourth button on a phone. That's unnecessary.
That has 4 buttons?
Well, it's power, up, down, volume, and Bixby.
Okay.
And I prefer an iPhone just has up and down volume and power. That's all you need. You can remap it, but I don't care. Like it shouldn't be there. It's a button that's right beneath down volume, which means that when you're reaching for the phone and you want to turn down the volume, you'll accidentally press Bixby instead, and now your volume's not being changed. And it's also like...
Wait, Bixby's a girl?
I'm sure you can change it, but...
I imagine Bixby to be like a very proper Englishman with a top hat on. Bixby. I'm your butler.
Bixby. Yep, it's still delayed. I just wanted to check really quick.
Oh.
It sucks because I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what I did differently, and it's still behind. Anywho.
That is strange indeed.
It is strange. But yeah, general impressions are good. Ultimately, it's not, don't worry about it. It's not a threat to Apple's ecosystem. It's like, it's neat, but it's still an Android phone, and it still has all the problems of Android. It's probably the best Android phone I've ever used. And yeah, my watch I'm still using just to tell the time and to check messages. And like certain people text me through just iMessage and not the phone number.
Wait, so you're still using the iPhone? Like kind of partly?
Well, my SIM's not in it.
Okay.
So
you're using it as like a Wi-Fi device.
The iPhone will stay here. It'll stay at the office until we move from the office.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the phone.
How long are you going to test that out for?
I don't know. As long as I can. Like if I'm comfortable with it, I'll just keep using it. But if it starts to annoy me and I start to run into issues with it, I'll probably switch back. But I'll likely, I'll at least use it for a week. At the very, that's if it's going horribly.
That's decent.
If it's a terrible experience, I'll go for at least a week, because that's usually, in my experience, enough time to use a product to fully get to know it. And if I enjoy it, then I'll keep using it after a week.
Good.
So far, I'm enjoying it though.
Have you used the what is it called? The Android Pods?
Yeah, Samsung I listened to the Galaxy Buds for a good like 3 hours actually.
Yeah. Did they compare it all to?
They're good.
AirPods?
Yeah, they're very comparable. They're the sound quality is good. They sound pretty much the same as AirPods, except the more noise canceling because they're rubber.
Oh, okay.
The rubber tips instead of the AirPod plastic. But it's just a personal preference thing. I prefer the AirPod plastic because I like being able to hear when I pause. And I also like that with AirPods, they're so insignificant and light and small that when you put them in, you kind of forget they're there. I've had that happen a lot. If I pause my AirPods and start doing something else, I don't even notice that I have AirPods in.
Wow.
Whereas the Galaxy Buds, it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
It's like they don't hurt, but it's hard to forget they're there because they're in there and they're sealed you off. It's like a vacuum seal. Yeah. So you don't hear anything that's going on outside, which some people may prefer that.
Do they have the automatic pause? Same thing as
no,
because that's kind of one of my favorite features about
that kind of bothered me. I like that when you want to pause AirPods, you just take one out.
Is there like a tapping feature? Like
they do all the tapping stuff where you can like tap 3 times and tap twice, and you can customize all the controls. But They are cheaper than AirPods.
How much?
$130.
Wow, a whole $30 off.
They're technically cheaper, but they did just come out, and AirPods are 3 years old.
Yeah.
And they're about to be refreshed. But what I like about the Galaxy Buds is they support wireless charging. Mm-hmm. So you can just drop the case on a... I should go get them. You can play with them.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. See what the chat's saying.
Don't leave me alone.
I won't. I'll be right back. See, if we worked from home, we wouldn't have this problem.
Okay. Well, ask me anything, guys. Apple Sheep says, are you still... Oh, and you already answered that. Project 4X. No, the next project is going to be called Project 0.5.
0.5X.
Because we're doubling down.
Yeah, I prefer the Apple plastic as well. But
my day's going good, Gabe.
Here they are.
Really good, Martin.
Little white pod.
It looks like a Beats pill.
Yeah, kind of. A tiny one. So we're going to get Louise's first impressions here.
Oh, they have the same, like, weird shiny thing.
Oh, color. Is this? They do?
Not holographic.
Those do come in more than one color.
Oh, interesting. They don't have the stick.
Yeah. Those come in 3 colors.
These look like hearing aids a little bit.
They do, actually, yeah. Especially when you're wearing them. There's a white, there's a black, and there's a yellow. I actually like the
case. The case is interesting.
Yeah, it's more of a matte finish.
Is this USB-C?
Yeah. Like the phone.
Right.
I like that they're USB-C as well. Mm-hmm. They're nice.
Can I try them?
Sure. You'll probably start hearing yourself. Let me close that.
Don't turn it up super loud.
I won't. I'll turn it down.
I can tell what you mean about the suction.
Mm-hmm. It closes off.
I'm like deaf
audio.
now.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just heard a beep. I don't know what that means.
It probably means it's connected. Do you want to play something on here?
Okay.
I'll make sure to turn it down.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Can pull up some music of some sort there. It's connected to that. The setup process is very similar to AirPods. Ooh, $80 on Facebook. That's not bad. Yeah, AirPods are going to be $200 soon because of the AirPods 2. So in which case Galaxy Buds will probably be a lot cheaper, but not as good. Attracts a lot of medical particles on the inside, and they scratch the inside permanently. Hate that. It's probably because there's magnets. There's a lot of magnets inside. She likes them? I hope she likes them. Louise, I love you so very much.
I like it. It really does kind of help that you can't like hear anything else.
Oh, you like that?
Feel like you're in the music video.
It's a bit more immersive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're a good deal too.
I feel like your ears sweat a lot more though when it's the rubber tips.
I kind of like the simplicity of AirPods. You just take them out and they pause, or if you pause them, you can still hear other things. Ooh, Sup said he quit his job yesterday.
Whoa.
Wow.
I thought Sup was like 12. He quit his job at the lemonade stand.
Why do you think he's 12? I think he's older than I am.
Like Sup. I don't know.
He's in his profile picture.
Sup, hey, hi. The tiny picture that's like 1 pixel.
You can't tell. That looks like a 12-year-old?
I can't. I don't look at his picture. Just based off of his name.
Well,
Sup, hey, hi.
I hope you can find a better job, or
what was the job?
Yeah.
I'm quitting my job, kind of.
Yeah, that's soon, right?
I've got 3 more days at my current job, and then I'm switching to another one.
Exciting.
So excited.
Would you want to switch to these?
I'm sorry, Sup. I didn't know you weren't 12. What were you saying?
Would you want to switch to these? Would you prefer these to AirPods?
That was a very short test. I'd need to try it more, but I think I like AirPods more. One thing
you definitely can't do with an iPhone. Why do you like AirPods more?
Because I'm used to them.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to change.
So you can go.
Oh, cool. So now your phone can charge your pill.
I can't use my phone now, but yeah, the phone is now charging.
Try using your phone while you're doing that.
You can, kind of like an awkward pop socket.
Yeah.
Like hold it on.
Don't break.
I think it'll say on the back. Charging the connected device. Good.
Oh my gosh. Sup says, I'm starting a new job as a personal financial manager on Monday. That sounds very...
You should help us.
Yeah. No, actually, we don't need help.
No, that's true. We are our own personal financial manager.
Does that mean we shouldn't trust you?
Just right. Because if you don't put it in the right place...
Is there only like a certain spot that
Yeah, it's not the whole back. It's
Hun, put it down. That makes me scared that you do that.
Why?
I don't know. It just looks very precarious.
This was your idea.
Oh, don't do it.
Oh, don't do it. You were listening to the Jonas Brothers just now?
No, I was listening to Sweet But Psycho.
Oh, I see. The playlist changed.
The Jonas Brothers. You guys, the Jonas Brothers are back together. Most excited. That's our special. The Jonas Brothers are back together.
Could you put wireless charging through a display? Is that possible?
I don't think you'd want anything on the screen though, because that would scratch it.
Look at that. When you do a face unlock, there's like lights that go around the hole.
Oh, cool. A little animation.
So what I like about the S10 more than previous Samsung phones is they made it the most like an iPhone I've ever seen.
The OS.
There's a lift to wake now.
Cool.
So I can lift it up, and then it has a lock at the top that unlocks via it looks exactly like the Face ID unlock thing.
And that's what you like about it, because they're
the more you copy from Apple, the better. You know?
The Jonas Brothers can't break up. They're
brothers.
Exactly.
Would you please do some quick video on how Galaxy Buds interact with iPhone?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Probably just like, you know what I just realized? These don't have a button on them.
To connect?
You know how AirPods have a button on the back? These don't have that.
How do you connect that to a new phone?
That's a good question, actually. See, they act like the W1 chip. You know, you open it and the batteries pop up. They must have
some sort of...
They imitated it very closely. But
you should do a video on like
the process of pairing was definitely not as smooth as AirPods.
Really?
No, even though they tried. It was like you opened it up and it does the animation and everything. The white tile pops up and it's like new device connected, and you can hit connect or cancel. And I hit connect and it's like Galaxy Buds want to access calendar. Galaxy Buds want to access messaging. Galaxy Buds want to access phone calls. Galaxy Buds.
All of that. Access music.
I think it's YouTube. An Android thing. It's like once you connect the device, it has to like ask permissions for all these different apps. Whereas AirPods, when you hit connect, it's just like done. Whereas this was like 8 prompts. Allow. Galaxy Buds would like to access calculator. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. You should do a video on like, I don't know, pairing the Galaxy Buds with the iPhone and then pairing the AirPods with an Android phone.
That's a good
comparison. How they compare.
I know that there's a little bit of differences in battery. So an AirPod just themselves, they can last 5 hours outside of the case.
So technically 10 if you do one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. But the Galaxy Buds
right there.
Individually.
How to make your AirPods last 10 hours. We're one at a time.
We're one at a time.
Exactly.
Individually, these together can last 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Which is a little longer. Good. However, the AirPods charge case brings an extra 24 hours with you.
Oh, wow.
This adds an extra 7.
So 13 altogether.
So the battery here is not as helpful. You'll have to
hours together with that versus 29, right?
Correct.
24 plus 5.
So these you'll have to charge more often than your AirPods do. Like if you're a heavy AirPods user, you may have to charge it every other day, maybe 2 to 3 times. 3 days between charges. This will probably be a lot more often because the case does not hold as big a charge. So we'll see.
Everyone's asking everyone's ages now. Interesting. I'm sorry. I thought he was 12.
Russell Moss super chatted and said, "Where is the big stuff in the office going?"
In the garbage.
Like no, we actually found some friends who are going to take the couches off of us.
3 couches gone. We're keeping the white desk.
I'm actually really excited to get rid of the couches.
Me too.
They're not comfortable.
I'm like afraid about the chairs though, because we have so many IKEA chairs and I love them.
I bet we could.
I don't want to get rid of them.
To take some of them.
No. We are not giving any of them away.
We don't have space.
We have family members who have like storage
The only chair we
places.
need is the PewDiePie chair.
No, the only chair we need is your lap because I'm gonna.
Well, you'll have that. You'll have
No,
that.
we have 4 IKEA chairs. We're not getting rid of any of them. Pinky promise me
Okay.
right now.
Wait.
What?
Like even the
Come
rocking
on.
one?
Yes. What's wrong with it?
You know how many IKEA chairs we have?
4.
What about the outdoor ones we take to the beach?
Those store easily. We can put those in our laundry room.
Okay, I
There you go.
promise.
There
We're
you
not
go.
getting rid of any of
We
the...
already have 10 chairs at our house.
We have
which
too
is-
many chairs.
Well, that was your decision to buy me 4 chairs for Christmas.
I know, but I
After
bought
I
these
begged you.
chairs, and as the original purchaser of these chairs, I vote we get rid of them.
Wow. Well, your vote is only half of the vote. Do you not remember? You bought these other 2 IKEA chairs for your apartment because you
Yeah.
were like, I thought of these when I bought them. Or I thought of you when I bought these.
Yeah, but I thought
Wow.
we were going to have a lot more space to work with before.
You expected us to have a mansion at 21?
No, I
Unrealistic
thought I was going to have the
expectations.
office for longer, but
I
I'm
mean-
not.
I mean,
I'm
you
not
had it for like a
regretting.
year and a half.
I'm not regretting
Not bad.
moving work into the house. That's a good idea. I'm just saying that I thought I'd have more space. Like the office was very empty, which is why I bought the IKEA chairs. But we got another super chat from Felipe. Did you see that one? What did he say?
Yes, Felipe Cabrera.
Ooh,
He donated 2,500. What is that?
it's about $5.
Really? CLP. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what that is. You guys look that up.
Some currency.
Culp.
Thank you.
I've seen the S10 lineup at a retail store, and the S10e is the best looking one. It looks like a nicer 10s, except for the chin, though.
I agree.
Is that the one with a single camera?
There's 2 with a single camera on the front. Yeah. There's a S10, but
Yeah.
it still has the edge display.
I thought that one looked
And it
nicer
still has
as well.
the 3 cameras. But then the S10e, which he's referring to, the displays aren't curved. It's flat
Oh,
on
okay.
the sides like an iPhone. And
Well,
it
this
has...
one isn't.
Yeah, it is. No,
Oh,
I'm not talking
how-
about the corners. I'm
Okay,
talking
okay,
about...
okay.
You see how the screen, like, you can still see it when it's flat? Like,
Barely.
you see the
Is that-
pixels?
it's OLED, right?
Yeah, both of these are OLED. But the S10e has flat sides all the way around, and I think it looks way better. I think it looks much more clean. So I think that's the best looking one, but I would rather have the bigger size. So that's why I have the Plus. And it starts at $750, conveniently the same price as the 10R.
S10. Oh my gosh, it's so confusing. They all sound the same.
Because there's
The S10
they're the same name, just in a different
Backwards.
order. Yeah,
and
10S.
one's a numeral.
10S S10.
Numeral?
It's
is
so
that-
confusing.
Roman numeral number.
God.
Yes. So it's 700 for the 10
750.
S10e.
Yeah.
So that's the cheapest one.
Of the S10 phones, yes.
And then the next one is like,
900.
and that's just the regular S10.
That's like this one, except smaller, and it has one hole on
So
the
is
front.
that the S10 like plus? or
Yeah, this is
max?
the S10 Plus.
Okay.
Which is $1,000. Same price as a
It's
iPhone
interesting
10s.
how iPhone went from like the 6S Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and now that's the 10S Max.
The tennis match. Yeah.
Tennis Match.
Uh huh.
Why go from Plus to Max?
I don't know. I still don't agree with that. I think they should have stuck with
So they
Plus.
should call the 10R. They should just call that the 10 Min instead of the.
Oh, minimum. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, R, I
Try to
still
make
don't
sense,
understand.
Apple.
Apple's name sucks. Their naming sucks. I am using gesture control
Sorry.
on here, which is not the default option, but I turned it on. It's so close to what Apple does. It's hilarious to me. Because Apple's approach with the iPhone 10 series was, okay, we're going gesture control, so we have a bar at the bottom, you know, that you swipe up from. So when Samsung One UI was like, we want to do gesture control, but Android has 3 buttons, multitasking, back, and home. So they have 3 bars at the bottom that you have to swipe up from individually.
So they don't have the buttons anymore. It's
Yeah.
all gesture.
Well,
gesture?
it's default buttons, but you
Okay,
can turn
I
on
see.
gestures.
That's
So
interesting.
you swipe up from this, it activates iOS like multitasking. Swipe up from this, it goes back. Swipe up from this, it goes home.
Do you think there will ever be a point in time where it's like bars just all around the screen and each one's like a different thing? How to access audio?
There was someone who had a concept of an iPhone without a notch and they put a bar at the top and I was like, stop.
What's the point?
There's too many bars.
Honestly, I wish they had an option to take this bar away because after you use this for 5 seconds, then you're like, okay, I know how to work it now.
Yeah, I think most people who have an iPhone 10 would not need the bar there. They could get the gestures down. But I'm more accustomed to gestures, so that's why I turned it on this, which it sounds confusing, especially the back button. Like, to go back, swipe up. It's like, what? But I just prefer that, like, with this phone, I can still swipe up to go home because I'm used to that. The only issue I keep running into is I want to activate multitasking, so I swipe up and hold, and then that just activates the Google Assistant because they read it as... Oh, you're holding down the home button.
This is different than Bixby, right?
Yeah. There's two digital assistants.
That's real convenient.
When you press Bixby, it goes, oh, to start Bixby, press and hold. Okay.
Daniel Holloway, I read your mind about the bar. And also Viper's in the chat. Hi, Viper.
Oh, hey, Viper. How's it going?
Also, Viper, what's your real name? I don't know your name.
It's a secret.
I thought you were going to say it's like Cecilia.
Kilimanjaro.
Cecilia.
That was my guess of Marquez's middle name.
How's the battery on that?
Well, I mean,
Asks Matt.
I unboxed it like 4 hours ago.
Is it dead yet? And
I put it on the charger. I let it charge up, and now it's at 66%. So I don't have enough time with it to give you a battery review, but I'm sure it's good. It's a big battery.
He says my real name is Viper. Are you sure? With
you
3
for
Ys?
real?
You can tell me after this.
What if we charge the buds like that?
That's dangerous.
See, this is why the buds case should be flat. So that way you could keep using the phone. Oh my God. Play Interstellar music.
No, I feel like circus music's more fitting.
Oh, wait. Let me turn it on. Reverse wireless charge. Okay. There you go. I can keep using the phone. Meme review. Oh, God. No, the big announcement is not the S10. The S10's fine. It's just kind of boring.
The announcement was the Jonas Brothers are getting back together. If you guys missed it.
That wasn't it either. I highly recommend listening to this podcast after the fact.
Someone in the chat told them.
Yeah.
Did we have anything else to talk about other than the last topic of the day?
Was it the pineapple?
Yes.
Okay. I'll see if the pineapple can work.
Hopefully it will load.
Do you want me to bring it up now?
Sure, but don't start it yet. So, basically... Yesterday, I was on Twitter, and I always learn things on Twitter.
That's true.
That changed my life. And I learned that I have been eating pineapple the wrong way.
Indeed.
So this video that we are about to watch is going to show us how to properly eat pineapple. So how a normal person would do it is like cut the top off and then cut all the sides off and then do it in slices. But actually, there's a way you can eat pineapple without using a knife, with just using your fingers. And although this... probably
go ahead.
Takes a lot more work and a lot more effort. You also get a lot more pineapple. So you decide. Okay, roll the clip.
We also got a super chat that said, what did you learn about each other after marriage? Which is that Louise loves pineapple. Yes. Roll the footage. There's no audio.
We turned down the audio because she curses a little bit. Okay, so basically, you pull one of the nubs. Look how excited she is.
The little wedges.
The pineapple nubs.
Uh-huh.
And then you just eat it that way. So this is like, you can be watching TV or something and just eat pineapple, like chilling.
There is no correct way to eat food.
Yes, there is. And this is it. Look, she just drank pineapple from the hole.
She has an Apple Watch, too.
Oh, really? Well, she's cool. She has a pineapple watch, you mean? A fine Apple Watch.
Oh, God.
But look at that. That's amazing.
The little slice pops out like that.
Is it showing up on the screen?
Yeah. Cool. I'm watching it. It's sideways. We apologize. We tried to find a landscape copy.
Is there a way we can make it bigger? Like take over the screen, or is that illegal?
There is, but I'm not going to be able to do it.
Someone said, or YOLO Piop said, this is coming from the person who put salt on fruit.
That's a legitimately helpful way to eat fruit.
Yeah.
It can make fruit taste better.
Not just salt, sugar also. Okay, pause.
Okay, don't autoplay.
Delete this.
Mouse.
Cancel.
There we go. Got it. Okay. deal with
it.
He just got pancreatic cancer.
How does he already have a Captain Marvel movie review? I thought it's not out yet.
Some people get to see it
Special
early.
premiere.
Yeah, just like the day I get my S10 is the day Marquez publishes his review about it. I'm like, dang it.
William asks, can we have a live demo? And I think you're talking about the pineapple. And yes, next episode of this podcast,
or Tailosive
we
food.
Actually, yes, that's a good idea.
Food channel.
I bought a pineapple.
We're waiting
for it to ripen. Review water.
Yep. That's one of the biggest videos on
I think most people
Review
know
Bra.
what water tastes like.
One of the biggest videos on Report of the Week's channel
is water review.
Is 2 different kinds of water he's trying.
It's a special water he gets, though. He gets Starbucks water.
No, it's 2 different gallons.
Oh, okay.
One of them is
I thought he only
distilled
drinks Starbucks water. Does he not?
He did for a time. I don't know, but
I need to catch up on his content. I'm kind of behind.
When's the movie stream at? It'll be probably
Tonight.
like 6:30 or a little bit around
6:30
a little bit after that, maybe
Pacific time. So in about 3 hours from now.
Yeah. So we'll be live later.
Yep. Well, that's all I had to talk about today. That was my very important announcement.
I think the display capture might have been what broke the other camera's angle.
Oh, really?
I don't know. We'll have to mess around with it more. Well, I did turn it off, but I'm just saying we'll have to experiment with it more because our other cameras aren't working for some reason.
Are the angles still not working now?
We can check really quick, but my keyboard's not doing it for me.
Everything's falling apart.
Yeah, it's still behind. It's still off.
Okay.
Usually,
well, this is a good time to end it then.
Live stream reset is what fixes it. Anywho.
You guys can watch Drew tonight at
Tailosive movie reviews on Twitch. All 25 of you
who
follow us
there.
You're
doing a pre-review.
Yeah, we'll be like, okay,
Captain
we're going
Marvel.
into Captain Marvel, and we'll talk about what we think's going to happen, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. But thank you so much for watching this episode of the Tailosive Talks podcast. And I hope you guys can tune in for the next episode this Saturday.
Correct.
Saturdays for the husband.
Ooh, ouch.
For the husband.
Are you okay, hon?
Yes, that was my watch.
That looked like,
my watch saved me.
Thank God it's stainless
steel. My pineapple watch. Business acquired.
Well, at least the microphones, you forget they're even there. But
I know.
That looked painful. Anywho.
I'll be more careful.
Thank you for watching.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next.
One more comment.
Oh.
I think it was a guy named Sam. Let me find the comment.
Okay. What did Sam?
Sam, what did you say?
I don't know.
Someone asked or said, how does Louise find the time to change her hairstyle in like every single video? And actually, this is kind of accidental. Like the first 3 episodes, I had different hairstyles, and then I just decided to go with it. So yeah, if you guys go back to through all the podcasts, today's like the 11th one. I've had either a different hairstyle or like a different hat on, and I'm gonna keep this going for as long as possible. And Drew looks the same in every single one, and that's okay. He's gorgeous.
Hoodie every other 5 episodes. Most of the time, it's the same hoodie though.
Anyways,
regardless, though, thank you all for watching.
See you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.